How has life been different for you as a new student doctor in training, obviously, but taking care of people? How is all the work you've put in up until now really benefiting you right now?
I mean, it's been awesome. It's been really amazing to go through the clinic. And so I just finished my student clinic, so I'll actually be heading in the outpatient clinic next quarter. Um, but I think, once you get to that point of being in clinic, which is going to happen sooner, you'll be surprised at how fast the program goes by. But once you start getting in those upper level technique classes, or once you get into the clinic system, you don't want to be in a state, now given you're always going to be learning, but you don't want to be in a state where you're learning your technique then. You want to get to the point where you're starting to refine and start to build that experience. And so, at LifeU, we have, our full spine classes, full spine 1, full spine 2, full spine 3, and then you get in the clinic right after there. So you have 3 adjusting classes. You only get to adjust in the 1 in full spine 3. So the other 2, it's just like practicing setup. So you get 1 quarter of setting up on. You might get at best, because you only start halfway through the quarter. So I think you get something like 5, maybe 6. I think like 5 adjustments in on a student on 1 segment of the spine. And so if that's your first time really getting your hands on and really practicing your technique and even adjusting someone, by the time you get into the student clinic, you're not ready. You're just not ready yet. And so I think once you get into those full spine classes, that's when you should be refining your skills, not learning and getting your experience. And so I think getting that experience in early on and, within your first year of school, having that strong foundation in your analysis and skills there.
Or just because this is what the podcast is all about, before school.
That is very true. That actually is something that I've been talking to a lot of students who are seeing what I'm talking about. Now they're in undergrad. I have someone in high school ask me questions. I'm like, this is amazing. And I think absolutely, that's such a big point. Do start to learn this stuff even early on in school. The earlier, the better, really, honestly, and let it evolve over time. So that way, because I agree with that. Even you show up in club, but you already have a basic understanding of a lot of the stuff you're already learning. And then now it's just creating that repetition for yourself versus the first time hearing it. It takes a lot more time versus if you're just like, oh yeah, reviewing the stuff, getting more experience, getting hands-on, it's only going to save you. And I think once you get into those upper technique classes, once you get in the clinic, now it's all about, you're not learning the stuff, you're confident in your skills and your abilities, and you can actually focus on getting people well. And that's such an amazing thing, And so I think the skills you learn early on will pay off later. And I think for me, at least, it's starting to kind of show, given there's still so much more that I need to learn, but being in clinic, I think the work that I put in early on in school is starting to show, and it's so worth it,
You got to put in the work. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It can look so many different ways. They don't have to take the exact path that you took to get there, but they have to be on a parallel path that you were on, where they're valuing that supplemental time that they spend outside of the classroom with their students that are in the class with them, but then they actually have accountability partners, or they have mentors that they meet with outside of the class. And that's what we're trying to create, is a supportive infrastructure so that every chiropractic student feels like they were fully supported in their pre-chiro experience. And that translates into them feeling experienced and exposed to what they need to be successful in their chiro student experience, right? My premise is there's 5 whole stages of pre-chiro. And the 5th stage is the admissions process. There's 4 stages that people are passing up or missing out on, that if they understood, if they had context and structure, that they would be showing up to chiropractic school already knowing about the clubs available to them, already having been exposed to the sciences that are unique to the different techniques, or that are unique to chiropractic, because the chiro sciences are different from the medical sciences, right?